A very important personality here. If you notice the altar, there's a beautiful, yes, there's a beautiful Lord Jagannath sitting right up there, overseeing all of us. He's her traveling deity. So with a loud Haribol, let's welcome Mataji and Jagannath amongst us. Haribol, Haribol, Haribol.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. I would like to welcome Mrs. Uma Devi and her son Akshayji and Shruti. Welcome. Welcome to our group, our spiritual family. Is this your first time? And I was so inspired by Uma Devi's enthusiasm, chanting. So I would like to, Mataji, our host here today, can present a gift to Uma Devi there. This is called Chant and Be Happy. Hariva. And Akshayji and Shruti, if you'd like, there are some of my favorite books here. This was one of the first books I read when I visited the temple for the first time. It's called The Science of Self-Realization. And we also have another very cute book. My grandfather used to read me from this book every night. It's called Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what is our princess? What's your name? Ashvi. So this would be like a perfect gift to spend time with her every night, reading from Krishna book stories. That would be a gift. So if you'd like to, you can contact our host. And I would say grab your copy, and because first time is always the best. First time is magic. So Prabhuji will take care of the books. And do we have any other first time guests today? Yes, welcome. What's your name? Jerry, welcome. Arrivo. Maybe we can have a gift also for him. You can show him and let him choose. Yes, thank you, Mataji. It's beautiful. It's a Vaishnav culture that we welcome the family, or at least one member of the family gets a present. You're all going to get a present. There's very wonderful prasadam here for you. No present can match that. But this is a present of knowledge, which can light up your lives. So thank you very much for visiting us. Okay. So we'll start with the invocation mantra. See, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, He's perfect and complete. And so are we as parts and parcels, sparks of that big, huge personality. And we usually need to just get out of the way of Lord's plans. So we will recite this beautiful prayer from Ishopanishad. If you know, you can recite along with me. And this mantra is so powerful. By reciting even once, all our chakras open up. And we get connected with the divine. And the only condition to get the benefit is we are supposed to be straight. We're not supposed to slouch like this. Otherwise, how the energy will flow through us. I'm going to sit straight. We'll take a deep breath. Breathing in the positive divine love of Shri Shri Nitai Gaura Chandra, Shri Jagannath, Srila Prabhupada. And breathing out all negativity, all stress, all fears. You can relax your shoulders. Om Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gaurakata Damadaya Nagara Grama Tarine. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. You know, there is a one of my favorite realizations in Treta Yuga, during the time of Lord Ram, the enemies would be in different planetary systems. One planet will attack the other planet. That was the status of enemies. There were no enemies within the same planet. There were no chance of having enemies within the same family, right? Then came Dwapara Yuga, and we all know the huge history of Mahabharata. What happened? The enemies were in the same planetary system. And then, of course, in Kali Yuga, it's in the same family. And, you know, it's said that in Kali Yuga, the enemy and the friend is within our mind. It's not anymore other planetary system. It's not about different worlds. Although we are witnessing wars and everything happening between countries. So that brings us to today's topic. See, I grew up with my grandfather reciting shlokas from Srimad Bhagavatam and narrating the context of whatever is happening in the world. It doesn't matter. There's another. In Kannada, we say, my mother tongue is Kannada. My father is Telugu and my mother is Kannada. So they say, Allide nammane illi bande summane. Right? My real home is over there. This is just a temporary residence. Like for most of us here, right? America is not our actual home, although we may be citizens. We identify ourselves as, no, we belong to Bharatvarsh. This is a legal status. So like that we all have this body that has a specific identity with the country, right? With the nation, with the state, with the particular city. And then we have particular family name, surname, right? I was just having a conversation with Mrs. Uma Devi in the back, and we were discussing about family heritage. आपको समझ में आता है ना? थोड़ा मैं हिंदी में कुछ बोल दूंगी कभी-कभी. अगर समझ में नहीं आया तो थोड़ा ऐसे कीजिए, okay? Thank you. We'd like everybody to feel, the spiritual energy will be there, पर अगर जरूरत पड़े तो मैं हिंदी में भी बोल दूंगी. So, see this picture I have here. I have one particular pastime to bring up that really means a lot. See, I grew up in a Madhva family. So it's a lineage of Madhvacharya. And I was having a conversation with our friends here while coming on the way to this place that we're so fortunate. We come from this culture, Vedic culture, Vaishnav culture. So it's all about relationships. It's all about personal connection. So one time, Ram, Sita and Lakshman, they were on the exile and they were moving around. They moved all around India. They went to different places. So one of the places they visited was Modudrumadvip. This is in Navadvip. So they were visiting that place, and Ram starts smiling. And Sita Devi asks, sometimes when husbands suddenly start smiling, the wives get concerned. What's going on? What are you thinking? What's cooking in your head? So Sita Devi asks Lord Ram, why are you smiling? What's going on? And then Ram says, no, I'm just thinking about my incarnation, that I'm going to appear in this very island of Modudruma Dweep. And Sita Devi becomes surprised. Really? You're going to take birth here? And Ram says, and you know what is the special thing about that incarnation? Sannyasa kricha mashanto nishta shanti parayanam shubhanga shanti dasrashta kumudak kuvaleshayah. He says it'll be like no other incarnation. I'm going to appear in sannyas. Only because Krishna, Krishna, we're talking about Krishna, right? There's no question of sannyas when we talk about Krishna. But he says to Sita Devi sannyas, and Sita Devi, last hearing the word sannyas, she goes into she becomes frantic. She says, what? You're going to take sannyas? What's going to happen to me? Sometimes husbands have plans and then we feel like, what happened to us? Where are we in the plan? Hello? And then Lord Ram says, no, you're also going to appear. I'm going to marry you. You will be Vishnu Priya. I will marry you. And then Sita becomes pacified. Okay, later you're going to take sannyas. That's fine. So we see that Krishna never gives up. Never. He has an agenda, not just we look 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Our plans are all maximum up to citizenship. There's nothing beyond that. Limited thinking. But Ram and Krishna, they actually think, ahead like lifetimes. Not for themselves, for us. Because, Jeev Jago. Who said that? Gaura Chandra Bole. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu we have here in the altar, who is none other than Krishna. We're coming to that. So he said that we need to wake up. We need to wake up to the reality of how Krishna appears. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam shrujamyaham. So he appears again and again and again, right? Matsya bane, Kurma bane, Varaha bane, Rama, Parashurama, right? He keeps appearing. And one other visit, Lord Ram was also in Jagannath Puri. And there he wanted to present, I was talking about presents. We have a culture of giving presentation. And it's Ram. He's creative. So he wanted to carve his next incarnation. And he wanted to carve his incarnation as Krishna with the cowherd boys and Govardhan and the cows and everything. So he was carving and Sita Devi was very impatient. She's like, I want to see now. So she didn't let him finish the artwork. If you want to see it, when you visit India, make sure in Jagannath Puri there is the artwork done by Lord Ram himself, predicting his next lifetime as Krishna. And he gave in the trailer, the next movie episode to Sita Devi. This is how I'm going to appear. I'm going to have my boyfriends, the cowherd boys. I'll have my girlfriends, Lalita, Vishaka. Then I'll have my cows. Different cows are there. So you can actually see that Krishna is very well planned. That's why we started with the mantra, Purnamada Purnamidam. Your lives, our lives is also perfect and complete. We just have to align to Krishna's will. And what I wanted to share today, I don't know how much some of you know and how conversant you are, but this is one of very important leelas of Krishna. So after Rama incarnation, he becomes Krishna. And then when he comes as Krishna, the Supreme Personality, the original fountainhead, Prabhupada said, he's the fountainhead. We have a father at home, and the same father becomes some manager in the company, and then the same father goes maybe to a high court to fight a case. So we have different positions. So Krishna is the God at home. He dances, he plays flute, he's a happy blue boy, but he's also a little lovesick. So he has his need to love and be loved. It's God. He's not impersonal. He's very personal. So one of the important histories, we don't often talk about it, but it's important because it's connected to our sampradaya. We're all in a specific lineage. We all need chain to connect, and our chain is Lord Chaitanya. And this pastime I want to share. Guess who is this? Who is this blue color? He looks like Krishna, but he's not Krishna. That's the Uddhava. So Uddhava looked like Krishna. But only the gopis, they knew that it's not Krishna. You know why? You know what? Why? How did the gopis know that it's not Krishna? He looked exactly like Krishna. He smelled like Krishna. He dressed like Krishna. He had the same complexion like Krishna. There was one thing that the gopis, they knew cannot be Krishna. No. Huh? Uddhava, yeah? Yeah, very respectful towards who? Yeah, well, Krishna was not. Well, yeah, you're right. So actually, Uddhava constantly spoke of Krishna. Constantly spoke about Krishna. Krishna wouldn't do that. He would speak about who? Yeah, he would speak about Radharani. So they knew that this cannot be Krishna. And you know why Uddhava was sent? He was sent, see, Krishna grew up in Vrindavan, right? For those of you little new to the philosophical history. So Krishna grew up in Vrindavan, but then you know how Krishna is? He's little teda. He'll always be little crooked. He'll never do things straightforward. He'll never speak straightforward. His agendas and his plans are perfect and complete, but never, हमारे समझ में कभी नहीं आएगा भगवान का जो भी plan है, right? So that's our, but there's only one, you know, we are in a Tamil household, so I'm obliged to sing one of our beautiful bhajans by a Vaishnav saint, and he basically reveals the mood of Krishna. He says, Kurai ondrum illai Marai Murti Kanna, Kurai ondrum illai Kanna, Kurai ondrum illai Govinda. கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாமல் நிற்கின்றாய் கண்ணா, கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாமல் நின்றாலும் எனக்கு குறை ஒன்றும் இல்லை மறைமூர்த்தி கண்ணா. It's a beautiful song that reveals the mood of Krishna. We have very limited eyes, right? Unless we have Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, unless we smear love to our eyes, the ointment of love, we cannot understand the mood of Krishna. But we can understand through the acharyas. Our teachers reveal. So this is one of the Vaishnava saints. He says, Krishna has given everything to us. He's this Lord and Master, right? He gave us shelter. He gave us air to breathe. He gave everything best in life is free. Everything, the best, most precious things, mother's love, it's free. And anything that costs money is an artificial necessity we created. So this song says, I don't have any complaints. I really have no complaints. Even though we're separated from the Lord. Like a child being separated from a parent, we feel separation. We're separated from the Lord. And in this song it says, you're sitting up in the hill. You're so far up in the hill. But still, I feel you. I feel your presence. I have no other complaints. So Krishna's only complaint is, Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. He's father of the whole entire universe. He is Loka Samastha. Like, how is that? Lokadhyaksha, Vishnu Sahasranam, I'm remembering. Lokadhyaksha Suradhyaksho Dharmadhyaksha Kritakritaha. So he's the original creator. He's the maintainer. And in Bhagavad Gita, he is, what's that verse? I'm remembering Vishnu Sahasranam instead of Gita. The one about Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, right? He's the Lord and Master of all universes, the President of all the presidents, the Prime Minister of all the prime ministers. So that Lord feels separation from one group of people, and they are the gopis of Vrindavan. And he lives as a king in Dwaraka, but he's extremely attached to Vrindavan, and he's missing the love and the friendship of the gopis. And he cannot talk about it. It's very, by the way, he's married to 16,108 wives. Even being married to one girl, you cannot talk about your past, right? What to speak of being Krishna, having so many wives. He would be sleeping in one of the palaces in Dwarka. Rukmini Devi, the most amazing goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi's incarnation, epitome and personification of chastity and love and devotion. And Krishna will be reciting Radhe, Radhe. That's Krishna. Okay, that's been Krishna. And he was not able to talk about the most confidential feelings. Like, we all have some special friend with whom we reveal our minds in confidence. We don't go and tell everyone our secrets, right? There's one, if we are lucky, we have one friend. One is enough. So Krishna also wanted to discuss about his most intimate pastimes, at least with one person. And who was that one best friend? Uddhava. So Uddhava is actually one of the closest associates of Krishna in the Dwaraka Leela. And there's one of the episodes when Krishna would be the king in Dwaraka. All the important administrative duties and meetings are just over, and then Krishna and Uddhava had a code language. Speak in code languages. So Krishna would say something like, "Okay, now I'm going to take rest," something like that, and everybody would leave the assembly except Uddhava. Uddhava will not leave because that message is not for Uddhava. Sometimes it happens, like when we are with our spiritual masters, when we are with our gurus, and the guru says, "Okay, now it's time to rest." Everyone leaves the room except that one person, right? The closest person. They don't leave. They know that that's the time. That's the time to spend time with Krishna. So Krishna had many agendas to send Uddhava to Vrindavan. One of the reasons was he said, "I need somebody to talk to about this pastimes, about my emotions, about my feelings." And it's a insatiable need. Krishna is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Suvarna Varano Hemango Varangas Chandanangadi. So he's filled with divine emotions. And the divine emotions we don't, like I said, we ourselves don't discuss. And what was the other thing about Uddhava and Krishna? When Uddhava comes back and then he talks to Krishna and Krishna says something, he makes Uddhava feel like, yeah, but you're not really allowed into my mind. And one of our teachers were saying, if Uddhava was in that situation that he couldn't understand Krishna, he couldn't get close, imagine what is our situation. They would sit on the same bed, they would eat from the same plate, they were so close. What about us? Our only hope, we are insignificant, right? We are very insignificant, but our significance is connected with the most significant. Therefore, our purpose in life is very significant. So that's the balance to understand. Because otherwise we become tamas guna. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm insignificant. We shouldn't get stuck there. That's like ignorance. And we cannot say, I'm great. You see, I'm wearing garland. I have a microphone, so I'm great. I can't say that. I'm only an instrument. If it's up to me, I am going to just speak nonsense. But because there is Krishna, because there is acharyas, then I become an instrument. Knife alone with the wrong hand is a danger. But if the knife is in the right cook's hand, doesn't have to worry. Oh, the same with Mridanga. You had playing so well. We had the microphone, and both of you were singing so nicely, right? The microphone is not scared because it's in the right hands. But somebody who just screams something meaningless, so our life is like that. If it's just connected with the temporary, transient, trivial worries and connections of this world, it's insignificant. It's like a bubble. Kamala Dala Jala, Jivana Talamala. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one of our Vaishnava saints, says like, our life is like a drop of water on a lotus leaf. 1 second, it's gone. And we have our Bhajagovindam song. And even in the Bhajagovindam song, it's emphasized. What is the emphasis? Idhana Yauvana. Okay, sorry, this is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's song. So he says, Idhana Yauvana, Putra Parijana. All these things, my wealth, my name, my fame, my family, all these things is just like a drop of water. And in Shankaracharya, Prabhupada quotes this song, and he sings about the, like I said, trivial, temporary identification of, I'm trying to remember that paragraph, Bhajagovindam. What's that? Anybody remembers that line? Where he, Ma kuru dhana jana yauvana garvam harati nimesha kala sarvam maya mayamidam akhilam hitva brahmapadam tvam pravisha viditva. Says, harati nimesha means in 1 second everything can be destroyed. What? Ma kuru, my people, my fans. Somebody hacks your Instagram account, even if you have 500,000 followers, gone, right? Internet, you forget your password to your Facebook account, gone, right? All the followers are gone. So ma kuru dhana jana, gone in a second. Yauvana garvam. Oh, we are so young. Look at my hairstyle. Oh, I'm looking so pretty. Selfies, right? And then we look at that like 2 years ago and then it's gone. Where is that body? Where is that hairstyle? Oh my God, graying of hair. Oh my God, my skin is getting whatever. So that's the nature. That's a transient identification. The dress, right? Today also I was watching my white dress got dirty and I was like feeling, oh my God. So sometimes we become worried. Oh my God, what's happening to my body? I'm getting old. Right? And then we can't sit down. Our knees hurt. Our back hurts. We can't do stuff that we were able to do when we were 16. So Yauvana, Garvam. Yauvana, and what happens in Yauvana? Garvam. We feel proud. I remember when I was a teenager, I thought I'll conquer the world. We have that thinking, I know better. There's the stages of life. First, we think our parents are everything to us. And then comes a point like, I'm not sure. Actually, my parents know nothing. And then we say, I want to go against my parents. I want to rebel against them. Exactly opposite of Lord Ram's lifetime and character. Everything opposite. And then we become 30, and maybe by 30, 40, we say, actually, our parents had a point. Right? So we need to kind of go through that slowly come. And then we think, oh, what am I going to give to my children? I think I have to revisit my parents. Yeah, a little dysfunctional, but actually they did their best, So we kind of revisit that. It's in Ayurveda, they say, some people get stuck. That the teenage phase, like I was saying, my parents don't know anything. Nobody knows anything. I know everything. It's called the snake stage. Like a snake, we are hissing at everybody. Don't tell me, don't tell me what to do. I'm on my own. So there's a snake stage, and Ayurveda says some people, unfortunately, they get stuck in that stage. They never grow up. They never grow up to become next levels. And then there are other levels. Before teenage is the questioning phase. Why this? Why that? Why that happened? Why this happened? Right? The 4 to 13 is when kids ask questions. They, पका देंगे, right? 4 साल से लेकर 12-13 साल तक बच्चे जो सवाल करते हैं ना, वो उसको उत्तर देते देते हमारा बीत जाता है हमारा पूरा. So the children have those questions phase. And Ayurveda says some people get stuck in that phase. They never take up to Bhagavad Gita. They never take up to science of self-realization. Never get answers through Shastra. They get stuck asking, why are you saying, who says Krishna is Supreme Person? Why I should follow Bhagavad Gita? Why this is the best thing? Why? They get stuck in that phase. And then we don't progress. Anyway, so that's like a side note. So what happened here is Uddhava, when he was visiting He was not in any of those phases. He was not someone who was stuck in any of those phases. He truly, authentically wanted to understand. And then he developed a lot of respect for the gopis. And maybe most of you know this story. One time, Krishna wanted to show to all the queens why the gopis are very special. What is the story? Anybody remembers? Yes, headache of Krishna. So Krishna faked a headache. He said, I got this really bad migraine. It's just not going. Oh, what to do? And then everybody asked, what should we do? What will cure your headache? I mean, he said, sorry, aspirin is not going to work. But there is another, equivalent. So what is it? And he said, I just need some dust from the feet of my devotees. And then, Narad Muni went all around the universe. His airplane is the fastest. He went from Brahma Bhuvana Loka. He went to the heavenly planets. He went to Vaikuntha. He went to Kailash. He went everywhere. What did everybody say? No. I mean, if somebody asks us, can you do Yacha Panni Bhagavan Kudukalama? Like we do that? Like that. So if you ask, eat something, taste it, then you offer to the Lord. We wouldn't do it. Or imagine like in the opposite situation, if you have a dog, you wouldn't feed your dog half piece of cake and then eat it. I mean, you wouldn't do it. Because there's a hierarchy. Maybe you do it. Some people do it. Okay. Kali Yuga. So, there is a hierarchy, right? There is a hierarchy. You may give a piece of bread that you're eating. Generally, you don't take from your dog's mouth, right? Unless, of course, it's Lord Ram. And there's a whole story about that another time. So in this case, Narad Muni went everywhere and everybody said, come on, ask us something more realistic. We don't want to commit sin. So everybody was worried about sin. And then nobody agreed to give. Then finally, Krishna said, go to Vrindavan. And then by the time Narad Muni reached, he said, what happened? Krishna has a headache. Krishna has a headache? And what are you doing just standing here? Do something about it. He says, yeah, but nobody's willing to give this. Just don't talk much. Tell us what it is that you need. And Narad Muni hadn't even finished completing the sentence of what was needed. He was already handed with a tray full of dust from the feet of the gopis. They said, take all the dust you want. And then Narad Muni said, are you not afraid of committing sin? He's a supreme Lord and you're giving your feet. He didn't say lotus feet. Just dust from your feet. Imagine somebody says, give me your socks, I'll smell. It's something weird, right? Something weird. And we wouldn't do that. It would be disrespectful. But the gopis said, disrespect, respect, excuse me, we don't understand that language. We only know one language. What is that? Language of love, language of devotion, language of surrender. And then they gave it. So Krishna said, you wonder why I think of the gopis? Here you go. So then when Uddhava comes back, then he had somebody to talk to. Anyway, that's a whole question. Why even after Uddhava came back, this is like a devil's advocate in my mind, I'm saying this. When Uddhava comes back, Krishna now has somebody to talk to, right? About the Vrindavan pastimes. And what does Krishna do? He goes to Kubja. So I never understood that part. But we like Krishna because Srimati Radharani likes Krishna. We are Gaudiya Vaishnavas. We only love Krishna because Radharani loves Krishna. Because that's our path. We reach Krishna only through Radharani. That's our connection. She's our eternal mother. Mothers are more reliable in that way. So that's that. Then later, I'm kind of skipping here, right? There are many chapters, and that's the idea to tease. It's a teaser today. Those of you who are not studying Chaitanya Charitamrita, not going into that, this is like an invitation. Go and study. There's so many esoteric secrets. The pastime doesn't end there. Uddhava and Krishna, historically speaking, 5,000 years ago, didn't get much chance to converse about Vrindavan and all these emotions. Because many things happened. Kurukshetra happened, and Krishna had to go and deal with all this Jarasandha and all nonsensical people, and then he had to get all these idiots in one place and get each other killed, and he had a lot of busy schedule. So then he said, don't worry, we'll catch up when he comes as Lord Chaitanya. So when he comes as Lord Chaitanya, Uddhava comes back as who? Chaitanya Charitamrita fans? Who is Uddhava in Chaitanya Leela? Who is Lord Chaitanya in Chaitanya Leela? Yeah, see, he's in the mood of Radharani. So he is Krishna, but in the mood of Radharani. He's here to experience Radha Bhava. He's Radha Bhava Gora. So when Radharani is there, who needs to be with him? The gopis, right? Radharani is with Vishaka and Lalita. So then we have Swarup Damodar, who is Lalita Devi, and Ramananda Rai, who is Vishaka. So there is that team. Because we'll only discuss confidential things with Sakis, friends, close friends. We'll not talk with anybody. So we need that. So Lord Chaitanya had Vishaka and Lalita to discuss things. And there was Paramananda Puri, who is Uddhava. So that is Krishna relating, continuing the conversation, experiencing that connection. And it goes, the whole Chaitanya Leela is about that continuation, the conversation. One more thing about Lord Ram. When in Modudrumadvip, when he reveals to Sita Devi that, look, I'm going to appear as Lord Gauranga and I'm going to take sannyas. And there's one special thing. In this lifetime, in Treta Yuga, I'm going to worship you in your golden form. We all know that, right? When Sita Devi later left, Lord Ram made a golden Sita. And he would worship that Sita Devi. And he said, in the next yuga, when I'll come in the Channa avatar, when I come as Lord Chaitanya, you will be the wife Vishnupriya, and you're going to make a golden murti of me and you're going to worship me. So there was this intimate commitment between Ram and Sita. This lifetime, I'll make a golden murti and worship you, and later on, you're going to make a murti of me, as Mahaprabhu you can see in Navadvip. If you visit, you can see golden Gauranga that Vishnupriya worshipped. So, see, it's not about one lifetime. And what to speak of our lives. Krishna doesn't see 10 years of our life. He actually sees 10 lifetimes. Like these negative films, like we were when we were all kids, right? We had these negatives. And then you develop it. And then there are the episodes of when you were 5 and then when you were 16. So Krishna sees our lifetimes. And his work is over lifetime. He's preparing us. And how fortunate we are. Okay? So I want to share this verses. This is from Chaitanya Leela. When Lord Ram was visiting Dandakaranya, you know, right? In Telugu we say, okay Banam, okay Matu, okay Patni. So that's Lord Ram. Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. So it means Ram with one arrow, finished. The war is done. War is over. With one arrow. And one word of Lord Ram, it's Veda Vakya. It's written in stone. If Ram says, I will follow, what was his? Pitru Vakya Paripalana. He followed his father's order to the T. Why? Because of that one word. And only one wife. So that this Ram is known for those things. So he, during the Bali and what's the name? Sugriva and Bali's fight, when Lord Ram was supporting Bali, there was this one arrow he hit to prove that he can. So there were these 7 trees through which the arrow went through the 7 trees. And this is one of my favorite pastimes. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, much later, he appeared. Saptatala vriksha dekhe kana nabi tara ati vriddha ati stula ati uchatara. Anybody can read? Volunteer to read this translation, please. Loudly, loud and clear. Yeah. सप्ततला देखी प्रभु आलिंगन कायला साशिरा सप्ततला वैकुंठे चालीला. Please read. Haribo. See, that's the potency. And what did the people say? Guess what people said? What would you say if you were there? Okay, I wasn't thinking that way. So if you were witnessing that, I like that. I think I will join that club. शून्य स्थला देखी लोके राहायला चमत्कारा लोके कहे ऐ सन्यासी राम अवतारा. Somebody else likes to read? Boys, loud.
After the seven palm trees had departed from Vaikuntha, everyone was astonished to see them gone. The people then began to say, this sannyasi called Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu must be an incarnation of Lord Ramachandra.
Lord Ramachandra Bhagavan ki, Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki. Shasira tale gela Shri Vaikuntha Dhama, Aiche Shakti Karahaya Vina Eka Rama. Only Lord Ramachandra has the power to send 7 palm trees to the spiritual Vaikuntha planets. Rivo! So this pastime is very dear to my heart, very relevant to me because the Madhva Sampradaya, that's where I was born and I came from the Sampradaya. The line, the queue they stand in for is a completely different goal. No, I was sharing with Prabhu and Mataji that they want to be Brahma. That's the path. And until you become Brahma, no chance, no hope of perfection. That's their path. So they usually think, Arey, what is all this? Just by Nam Sankirtan and all, you can't get purified. Of course you cannot get purified if that's your queue. If you're standing in the queue for citizenship, you're not going to get the other part. But we are talking about being in the lineage of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are talking about being Chaitanya Dasamui, Chaitanya Das, Chaitanya Dasamui, Tar Dasera Das. So we belong in the lineage of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we serve the associates of Lord Chaitanya. And that's our identity. So when your identity changes, it's like, I give this example of with Uddhava and Gopi's conversation. The conclusion Uddhava comes to is also this. When somebody is very sick, an ambulance comes, and the ambulance, and then you're going, there's no traffic light, there is no signals you have to follow, right? Just go straight. All the rules are for who? For others. So we are on that fast track. We are so sick because of our material disease. Bhava roga mochakane. So Krishna, he relieves us from that disease and we are in that ambulance. And we are in the fast track. That's Mahaprabhu's mercy. That's Guru Srila Prabhupada and Guru and Gauranga's mercy. So we are in that ambulance. So yes, whatever the other sampradayas say, they will even say, hey, come on, you guys are not even Madhvas. This is Gaudiya Vaishnavism. That's a different line. Yes, that's the ambulance line. But the only qualification to get is we need to admit that we are sick. If we don't admit we are sick, and I say, I know. One of our Vaishnavacharya says in one of the songs, Kashi Varanasi Kanchi Kala Hasti Rameshwara Yesu Desha Tirugideru Bahodenu Ali Hodenu. Says if we say, I've been to Kashi, I've been to Rameshwara, I've been to Badrikashram, I've been to Himalayas, I've been everywhere, I'm very purified, I'm very saintly, it says it's all a waste. No purification in that. And then it says, If I say, I've read all the Puranas, all the Vedas, I know all shlokas by memory, I know the whole Bhagavad Gita by heart. The moment we say that, it's proven that you don't know anything. So what's the solution? Dasanagu, Visheshanagu, Bhavapashanigu. So the ambulance is Dasa. to become the servant, to be in that mood of a servant, to admit that I have no control over my life. So that's what Uddhava learned. Uddhava learned that the way to perfection, the way to Krishna's heart is that mood of humility. That's the mood that Arjuna had in the beginning also. He wasn't thinking, I'm not going to show my weakness. He was very vulnerable. He said, Krishna, kim no rajyena Govinda, kim bhoger jivitenava. What's the point, Krishna? I don't want to fight. I don't want this kingdom. What am I going to do? I'll bloody my hands by killing my guru. I'll kill my teachers. I'll kill my grandfather. And then I'm going to enjoy that kingdom. Who will I show off my kingdom to when all these people will be dead and gone? You see the whole honesty part. And that's why Bhagavad Gita was spoken to Arjuna and not to Duryodhana. Duryodhana was in the, what was his mood? He was saying, oh, Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Kripascha Samitinjaya, all these great personalities, they have come on this battlefield to give up their life for my sake. That's what he said. He said, Saraswati Devi sat on his tongue, and what did he declare? You're all going to die. He declared before the war. He said, they've all come here, they're all going to die for my sake. It's like, who starts a war or an exam saying, I'm going to fail the exam? If you sit, why would you say that? It's like self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Destruction. But what we see in Arjuna's case, in the psychology of Arjuna, what we see with Uddhava is completely different. It's about honesty, it's about vulnerability. Arjuna didn't lack any weapons or mantras. Unlike Karna, he didn't forget any mantra. Right? I mean, that was not Arjuna's problem. He had all the weapons of the world in his access. Like that, literally. It was not a problem. But that sometimes happens in our lives too. There's some emotional disconnection to the will of the Lord. We have a plan. Our plan maybe, there's a song, a Vaishnava Acharya song that says, Hari Chitta Satya Nama Nara Chittake Bandadu Lavalesha Nadeyadu. Hari Chitta Satya. So the truth, what will happen will be the Lord's will. And we may desire so many things. I'll get married at this age and I will live in this country and I will have so many kids and I will retire at this age. We have our plans, right? Agendas. Sada annadhanava bayasodu nara chitta udarake aluvudu hari chittavaya. So our plan may be all these things. I'll get married and I'll do a lot of charity, and then the Lord's will may be that we don't even have one spoon to eat. Sometimes we may go ane kudura mele, means we may go by chariot and elephants and horses, and some other times we're barefoot. That's the Lord's will. So the summer and winter, Sitoshna Sukha Dukkhada, there will be happiness and there will be distress. The cycle of life. But what is our real significance? Is a connection. Who are we belonging to? What is our purpose? Many lifetimes. Yesukayangala kaledu 84 laksha jeeva rashiyannu daati banda ee sharira tanalla tannadalla. So many 84 lakh species of life we tried our way. It's one life, just one lifetime. Can we align to his will? Can we let him do his thing? Can we let him perfect our life? And it starts with every small details. Your parenting, how we relate to our spouses, how we relate to our friends, how we remain determined and dedicated, how we can give ourselves to Shastra and serving the Guru, how we can be part of the family of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya, he would wipe the temple in Gundicha. He would clean the temple, and he called it as Cheto Darpanam Arjanam, cleaning the mirror of our hearts. That's the process. We need to keep our side of the heart and side of the street clean. And he has, this is the branches of Lord Chaitanya's tree. Paramananda Puri, who's who? Uddhava. Keshav Bharati, Brahmananda Puri, Brahmananda Bharati, Vishnu Puri, Keshava Puri, Krishnananda Puri, Narsingha Tirtha, and Shukananda Puri. These are the branches, and then we have more. You see, this is the tree of Lord Chaitanya. This is the treasure house which has opened up. This can be distributed. The love we can experience, the love of the gopis, the love of the Brajvasis. We are given access because of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. And all in the tree we can see all the acharyas. Lord Nityananda is here, there are Advaita acharyas here, Srivas Pandit is there, Paramananda Puri, everybody. And Lord Chaitanya is watering that tree. And what did Lord Chaitanya say? Such a big tree, there'll be so many fruits. How can I alone distribute this fruit? So he asked us to help. He said, help me to distribute these fruits to everyone. So we extend our friendship, we share our life purpose, and we help others to become part of Lord Chaitanya's tree, because that's our ambulance. So this one lifetime we can dedicate to aligning to Krishna's will, because he has a perfect and complete plan. So these are some of the points I wanted to share. Do you have any questions, comments? Actually, what I'd like to hear from you all, because it's my first time, I don't know some of you, looking at your faces, and I'm hoping to get to know you personally and take inspiration from your lives. But I would like to hear your relation to Lord Chaitanya. Because Indians, we are very ignorant. We don't know the potency of Lord Chaitanya. He's very amazing. He's not copyrighted by ISKCON, His mercy is spreading everywhere. People are becoming yogis, vegans, they're chanting holy name. It's all because of Mahaprabhu. That energy is spreading. Prithvite ache jatit nagaradigram sarvatra prachara hobe moranam. So the Lord Chaitanya's mission will spread everywhere. It's up to us. It's up to me whether I want to be part of it or not. It's going to happen. Sometimes we just need to get out of the way. The mercy is flowing. So I would like to hear from some of you here, what is your realization about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and give us some glimpse of your connection. And we can have mic being passed around. Yeah, not everybody at once, okay? One by one. Please, Prabhu, I'd like to do.
Hare Krishna. So yeah, Chaitanya Charitamrita very nicely explains that Lord Chaitanya is the incarnation of Lord Krishna, and his external purpose was to spread the message or the prema of Lord Krishna with all of us. So if we can understand, the internal purpose is a separate matter, but if we can understand his devotion in love, how he demonstrated that, then that would be perfection of life. And his disciples in various ways showed that, the 6 Goswamis specifically. So practically, or not practically, but they showed it by embodying, they just demonstrated it. Not for the sake of demonstration, but they just imbibed it, like Raghunath Das Goswami in terms of his Smarana, and Rupa and Sanatana Goswami in terms of immersing in Shastra and disseminating in Jiva Goswami as well, and so on. That's what I'm. Hare Krishna.
And those of you who would like to know more about these Goswamis and their powers and potencies, actually I have a course about the introduction about this, especially for women. I have this for ladies. I have a ladies group where we encourage women to study about the acharyas and learn who these personalities are. If you would like to join or something, you let me know. I can send you the link. Thank you so much, Prabhu. And whatever Prabhu said, it's coming from a place of absorption. As he just mentioned, it's not that the Goswamis, it was about a demonstration. It's an absorption. It's that depth and that connection. And we can't give it unless we have it. Like the treasure underneath the ocean. If I haven't seen it, how can I bring it to others? So, thank you.
I can say something quick. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Channavatar, meaning he's not well known, but something that comes to mind is faith. We know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Devotees say that people who live in Andhra Pradesh, many of you who are here now also did not know about Lord Jagannath, who was in the state above in Orissa. Only because of Prabhupada. Prabhupada brought Jagannath all over the world that we know Jagannath the Lord. So same way, only because Prabhupada had faith in his spiritual master's world, and his spiritual master had faith in his spiritual master's word, and that faith originated from the word of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who said that this holy name will spread in each and every town and village. So same faith our spiritual masters had in their spiritual master Prabhupada. So if we can continue that lineage of faith, then 100%, the holy name will spread all over the world. So just faith in the holy name and Lord Chaitanya.
Harinam Sankirtan ki, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki. That's again perfect example of someone who's in the mood of an instrument. Because when I try to do something, there's only this much I can do. But if I become an instrument, like you just said, mercy will flow through you. And it has to flow through you, which means we get the nectar. Like when you're making chandan, how many of you have made chandan for the Lord? Yeah. So when you're making chandan for the Lord, how does your hand smell later? Right? So if I try to do some chandan for myself, it won't happen. But when I try to connect with the divine, exactly like you said. And the mercy is, our significance is our spiritual master. Thank you. And I think you as a family, you're setting that example. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say the reason why we are all sitting here is because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as we say, the proof is in the pudding. And as a direct result of his teachings and his devotees' teachings, I've encountered amazing devotees. And just like you said, we are all, every devotee is an instrument, and we are all touching the flow of current there and becoming a conduit to the Harinam. And it has been very fulfilling just because Lord Gauranga is spreading unlimited fruits everywhere.
Vaishnavi, is anyone else? Prabhuji had a question in our comment.
I'll go after you.
Anybody likes to share when did you come to know first time about Lord Chaitanya?
Hare Krishna. So when I was a young child, I think I was 6 years old. So in Mumbai, we used to live in the suburbs of Mumbai, and there would be every Navratri, which culminates into Vijayadashmi. So there would be Ram Leela in a ground called Ram Leela Maidan. So the name of the ground was Ram Leela Maidan, and there would be Ram Leela, and these Ram Leelas were being performed by primarily artists from Uttar Pradesh. And one time, I believe the performers were from Braj. So as part of the Ram Leela, after the Ram Leela, they showed Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. And I vividly remember, 5 people dancing, one of them in a blue, another one, red dress and all. And Nityanand, yeah. So the only thing, 2 words caught my attention: Hari Bol and Chaitanya. So incidentally, so we had a big family, joint family, and I was the eldest. My father was the eldest. So my father's younger brother, the second, his son was born after me, and his name was Chetan. So after I saw that drama, I used to tease him. Hey Chaitanya. Right, I would tease him. Hey Chaitanya, idara. So that was my first introduction to Lord Chaitanya. And then years later, almost so I was 6, and then after 13 years, when I went to the temple, and when I understood Sri Krishna Chaitanya, I remembered, oh, that was the name, which they were actually showing. And I had actually goosebumps. Wow, this is amazing. So since you asked, I tried to explain. Thank you.
Thank you. Chaitanya Charitamrita says that even if we take Lord Chaitanya's name once, the impossible thing becomes possible. And if we forget Lord Chaitanya, even the easiest things become impossible and difficult. So it seems Prabhu's life is the example. Even in a happy, joyful, joking manner, he was saying, Chaitanya! What he was saying? Chaitanya! Come on! Chaitanya! What just happened? All the difficulties went away, and even the impossible is becoming possible. You know what is that impossible? The fallen conditioned souls receiving love of God, to go back to Godhead. That's impossible. No acharyas of any other sampradaya can guarantee this, but Lord Chaitanya can, and he did. So, and then you came in touch, and it's amazing. So what was the other word he heard? Remembered? Haribol! Thank you. That's beautiful. Anybody else? Any stories that you want to? You'll get special blessing if you share.
Nobody?
Yes, Prabhu. Mataji are very shy today.
Hare Krishna Mataji. On when we heard about Lord Chaitanya first time was in Portland, Oregon. In Portland, Oregon. After coming here, before that, no idea, never heard the Lord's name. But coming to Portland, because in India we used to go to a nearby temple in the society where we used to live. So coming here, we just search for the temple. And one day, on the weekday, we came around. It was on the Cornelius Pass, not too far from here, in a workshop. And the idea of the temple in our mind was a structure like a temple, but it was in a warehouse. So we looked around, no GPS at that time, and no iPhone. So just looked around the address, could not find the temple, went back. It was a weekday, and the temple used to open only on Sunday. Then luckily, after a few weeks, we came on Sunday. Nearby was a grocery store, Winco. So we came to Winco, and after buying the groceries, the address says this address, let's go around. So I was roaming around that street, and one of the Western body asked me, are you looking for something? And I said, I'm looking for a temple. But he had no idea what is a temple. I said, Indian temple. So he said, there is an Indian store nearby, go ask there. So I went there, and they said, yes, just behind our store, there is a temple. They open on Sunday. You are on the right time. They will open pretty soon in the evening. And yeah, and then on that day when we went, one of them was this Prabhuji, Brajkishore Prabhu, and other devotees, Jai Sachinandan Prabhus, and all, they were there. And that was the first time I heard the word Lord Chaitanya.
See, so many miracles, right? So many miracles happening. Who heard the name of Lord Chaitanya for the first time today? Wow. Haribo! Welcome. Welcome to the tree of Lord Chaitanya, where the fruits are plenty. You know, there is one time, right? When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Navadvip, he had a stick. He ate a mango, and he took that mango seed, and then he put it in the ground. Immediately, a mango tree came up. You know what was special about this mango tree? The mangoes that grew on that tree didn't have any seed and didn't even have the skin. The mango grew like that. So that's the mystic power of Lord Chaitanya. And all the devotees just took those mangoes and Haribol! Prabhuji, I think now is your time to... Microphone, please. You can pass it. Boys, you have any questions? You have any realizations about Lord Chaitanya?
The first time I heard about Lord somewhere around 3, 4, somewhere like that.
Lucky you.
Because my parents were also devotees.
Yeah.
By then. And the first thing I first saw the DPs that time. And the only thing I remembered was that they were golden. That's all.
In fact, Lord Chaitanya is the golden incarnation. You are so lucky. Yes, Prabhu.
It's more of a question. I mean,
Okay.
Our experience was similar to what Prabhuji said. You know, we bumped into the temple, and Paramakaruna Das Prabhuji, he was taking a Bhagavad Gita class, and you know that's how it started, probably like 8 years ago or so. But my question was more related to Uddhava. So in that picture, I think there's a subtle difference, unless you already told. But whether Uddhava, that picture is when he's visiting from Mathura or when he's visiting from Dwarka. Because my understanding is Uddhava at the time, back when he was in Mathura, he was more believer of impersonalist Brahman. And then Krishna wanted him to get the love of Krishna. That's why he sent him to gopis, and that's how he understood.
Got converted from Jnani to Bhakta.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
That was it. So I just wanted to reflect on that.
Yeah, it's a good point. He was a Jnani and Krishna did want him to become a Bhakta. And then he just said, go associate with the gopis.
Yeah, so much so that he didn't want to go back to, back to God. He was like, I can be born as a
Blade of grass where the gopis can step. Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's like the most highest feeling, right? And we feel that sense of belonging and connection. I had heard this thing once. The spiritual bliss is not in becoming boss, anu boss. It's actually in becoming dasa, anu das. Okay, so maybe we can conclude here. If anybody has any other comments, Prabhuji, would you like to conclude? Would you like to? Well, I think you are from the beginning of Lord Chaitanya's Leelas. Mike.
Our connection with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So my first connection was through Prasadam. Because when I was in India, my brother was doing his research in Pune, and he once came to town and he brought Prasadam, the sweets from Pune temple. And I distinctly remember he said ISKCON temple. And I didn't think much of it because I was more interested in the sweet. But
It works.
yeah, that was my first connection. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that unto those people upon whom I am especially merciful, I give them the association of my devotees. So out of all places, when I came to US for my studies, my roommate happened to be a devotee.
Wow.
And he was the one who connected me. And that was the first time I heard the name Chaitanya. And I had a lot of questions till then because I was thinking, who is supreme? Right? It was always a question in my mind. In fact, when I was growing up, a Muslim student had challenged me, like, how many gods do you guys have? Right? You can't even figure out who is God. And at that moment, I don't know what came to me. I said, of course we have one God. He's called Parabrahman. And I don't even know where that word came from. I just blurted it. And that shut him up for then. And I was like, okay, I think at least I got off. But when I came to the US and my roommate said, Krishna is God, because he himself says that in the Gita, Mata Parataram Nanyat. He quoted that verse and it was like a light goes on, right? And that captured my attention. So, of course, it is mercy of devotees by which I was able to first get that prasadam, then get association as a roommate, and in the form of a roommate, and yeah, that's.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. In every katha, when we do katha, like Leela katha, like this, there's something called Mangala. There's always like a song that ends with the auspicious thing. And Prabhuji's story reminded me of one Mangala that we need to remember. It goes like this. Ranga ninna, go Ranga ninna, kondaduva mangalatmara, sanga sukha vittu kayo karuna sagara. Ranga ninna kondaduva mangalatmara, sangha sukha vittu kayo karuna sagara. It means, Gauranga, please always keep me in the association of devotees. Sangha Sukha, there's no other happiness like the happiness of friendship of the devotees of Lord Gauranga. So may we always bask in the light, golden light of Gauranga's mercy. And may we always take shelter of Guru and Gauranga. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya.